Hello stampers, I've got a little project for you today and I'll be using a fern leaf stamp and it's from the Nature Sprint stamp set. This has some really lovely images that you can use in your foregrounds of your scenes, and it also has some lovely sentiments too. The sentiment I used today, though, I went to the Go-To Greeting stamp set because I wanted a nice bold thinking of you stamp. So that's what I took out of this Go-To Greetings. This is a great set to have in your arsenal. So we're going to get going on our main panel today, and I just wanted to do a little emboss resist here with this light leaf that's in the foreground. So we're going to start with our main panel that is 3-inch square and it's basic white. All the dimensions for this card are down below this video. Just click show more and you'll see them there along with all the links to the products. So we're going to start with a Smoky Slate and a Versamark pad. So I have a little Versamark pad out here. And we're going to load our leaf image here with Versamark and then load it with Smoky Slate and then stamp it on the panel. And what that does is that Versamark makes our water-based ink tacky so that our embossing powder that we're going to emboss it with sticks to it. So that's the purpose of the Versamark. So I'm just loading with Versamark, Smoky Slate. There we go. There's our image. So now I'm going to heat emboss with clear embossing powder. I just keep my embossing powder in a tub for easy use. Just put that on, and then I'm going to just feel around, make sure I don't have any clumps of embossing powder around there where I don't want it. Then I'm just going to heat this up until it turns shiny. Okay, one thing, you don't make sure you don't overheat it. You just want to take it to the powder turns shiny and stop. If you overheat it, what'll happen is your embossing powder will sink into your paper, and then it won't have the same resist properties as it does when it's just heated till it's shiny. So now our leaf is embossed. It'll resist the inks that we put on top of it that are darker, and it'll show up light in the foreground. So we're going to take some Balmy Blue here and a blending brush. I'm just going to blend this over this panel. See how that leaf stays nice and gray. You can make that leaf like a really light green or even white, just so it shows up nice. You just want a nice light color. Now I'm putting this Balmy Blue on kind of splotchy, just to give a little something to our sky area. So again, that was Balmy Blue. So next I'm going to take Early Espresso here. I wanted some nice dark leaves in our right behind that gray one. So I'm just going to stamp this. I'm going to kind of cross over that embossed image and stamp it. And then I'm going to put one upright here. There we go. So now we have 3 leaves going. And I'm going to take a little paper towel here And I'm just going to kind of wipe off that embossed image and see how that throws that Early Espresso leaf behind it. Okay. So now I want to take some basic gray here. And I wanted kind of a textured look to our color around this. So I'm using a piece of plastic wrap. So it's just regular old Reynolds wrap. So I'm just going to ball it up in a ball, and I'm going to use it like I would a sponge, just to get some texture around my panel here. I'm going to put it behind these leaves. And then I'm going to just kind of wipe back and forth with it just for a second at the very bottom. And that'll give you a more solid image down here. All right, so I'm going to unfold this, and now I want to go around the edges. So I've flattened that edge, so I want to make sure that I get crinkly edges again. So I've just opened it up, wadded it back up a different way, and then I'm going to just pat it around the edges. I like this distressed look this gives. There we go. And there is our main panel. And you can wipe it off again, since you probably have some gray, basic gray on top of that Smoky Slate embossed image. And if you want to, you can hit it again with your heat gun just real quick, and it'll bring that shine back to it. Because we've dulled it down a little bit, putting ink on top of it and wiping it off and such. So now we have a shiny leaf again. I'm not sure if it'll pick it up on camera. Okay, so I just wanted a little bit of bling in the scene, and I have these brush brass butterflies. Don't try to say that 10 times real fast. I'm just going to add some here. You can use your pick your tool for this, but I'm just going to pick it up with my scissors and add it to my scene. I just want a few butterflies flying around here. And you can use different sizes. You can put them on top of your embossed image even. They'll stick nicely. And there we go. We got 3. 3 is a good number. So there's our little butterflies. They're nice and shiny. So that is our main panel. So we're going to set that aside. And I'm going to bring in a Balmy Blue panel that is 4 by 5.25. And I just want to add some of those ferns along the bottom. I'm going to bring in that basic gray again that we used around the edges and such on that other one. And I'm just going to directly stamp these leaves on here, just along the bottom, just turning my stamp to get different, so it doesn't look like little soldiers all in a row. I want them kind of, there we go. So we have those, and then I'm just going to take that plastic wrap again, and I'm going to go around the edges with that basic gray to just kind of mimic what we did in our main panel. There we go. There's that. Okay, we have that done. So I have a strip of Smoky Slate here. This is 3/4 tall. And I have more than what I need here. I just need to stamp my sentiment on this and then we'll trim it to fit. There's our sentiment. And I stamped that in early espresso. So it's nice and dark. I'm just going to take a pair of scissors here and trim this down here. You can also use your paper trimmer. There we go. We have our sentiment piece done. Now inside this card, I went ahead and decorated the inside. And so we're going to do that before we start putting it together. And this is another Balmy Blue panel that's 4 by 5.25. So I'm just going to take some that basic gray again. Just add just a couple of these on the edge there. And then you can just go around with your plastic wrap. I think I'm going to ball mine up again so I get a nice frilly edge. Move your plastic wrap around different directions too, so it doesn't look, it'll start looking like a repeat pattern if you don't. And this is all just to tie into the front of the card. You could certainly leave this panel blank, but I like that it's tied in. Okay, we have all our stamping done. We're ready to start putting our card together. I'm going to get rid of my inky paper here. And I have a Smoky Slate panel here that's 5.5 by 8.5. I folded it in half to create my quarter card. And then I'm going to add our inside panel. I'm just going to use multi-purpose glue here. I like this color combination, Balmy Blue and Smoky Slate, and then you have that basic gray there. Okay, for this, I want to add, this is our front of our card, I want to add some ribbon to this before we put on our main panel and such. So I'm just cutting a length of ribbon that's a little larger than our panel is wide. I'm going to adhere the ends of the ribbon to the back side, and I'm going to use mini glue dots for this. I'm just attaching the ends to the back, and that leaves the ribbon in front to where I can slide another piece of ribbon underneath it to create my bow. So that was mini glue dots I did that with. And now we can put this on our card front. So I'm just going to add some glue, and I went right over that ribbon with the glue. Use whatever adhesive you like. But I like putting some over that ribbon just to adhere it nicely to the card also. There we go. So there's that panel. Now our main panel here, I'm going to adhere it to a square of Smoky Slate. And this is 3 1/8 inch square. It's just 1/8 inch larger than our main panel. And see, I did one leaf and I didn't like it because I kind of got a spot there from the edge of the stamp. Good thing cardstock has 2 sides. There we go. It's all trimmed out with that Smoky Slate now. And I'm going to add this to the front of the card using Stampin' Dimensionals. There we go. Like lots of dimensionals, so my card panel doesn't cave in during shipping. It's not very pretty when you have caved in panels. There we go. Got my backings off. Just going to add this to the card front here. Here we go. Now I just want another piece of that ribbon. I'm going to slide it underneath the ribbon we have here on the left. I'm going to tie that in a bow here. There we go. Trim my little ends. There's our bow for the front. So now we just need to put our sentiment piece on. And I'm going to pop this up also with some dimensionals. Just going to use 3 dimensionals here. And I'm going to add this to the bottom of my card. There we go. And there is our finished project for today. I hope you enjoy this project and give it a try. It's just a little something special for somebody. You can put any sentiment you want inside of it. So thinking of you, it could be thinking of you on your birthday, or just thinking of you because you're having a hard time. Thanks for joining me today. Toodles!